did.
Go ahead, Brig.
Hey, baseball family. Right. I said I was going to go live, and Brad was like, wait. And I was like, no, it's too late. Welcome to this Thursday where we have decided we're going to go live and bring you weekend updates to get you ready for the baseball season. The baseball schedule and some of the current events coming up for this weekend. And we're really excited about it. I'm Brig, obviously, and Brad, he's right over there.
I'm here.
He's here.
On your right.
We're really excited that Brad's here. He's going to kind of keep us between the buoys tonight, as I've clearly gone completely off the rails. Quick updates, Brad. A couple of things we got to talk about before we really get going. First of all, if you're listening live, go ahead and give us a shout out. Tell us you're here. Go ahead and shoot your name in there so that we know. Some of the platforms don't tell us who you are if you comment. So throw your name in there. That'd be helpful. And we're really excited that you're here with live. We're going to do this on Thursdays every week for the rest of the season. So we're pretty excited about that. All right. Anything you want to add before we dive into this, Brad?
No, I think you pretty much hit all the buttons there. Let's do one thing real quick before we get too far into it. We had a special launch today in honor of my favorite team. Marco Gonzalez has had an interesting season so far. But for those of you who know the Mariners, follow anything with the Mariners, last season he was called very boring by the former vice president of baseball operations. Well, last night he tossed a gem against the Blue Jays, and his teammates and manager were saying, Marco's not sexy, but he gets the job done. So we decided what we needed to do is we needed to embrace it as he has, and we have made a t-shirt, Not Sexy, in Seattle colors. So you can hop on the shop and get that for yourself, starting at $18. It goes up based on size. But we have that on the shop there for you, for Mariners fans and anybody who wants to identify as not sexy as well.
Navy blue and teal.
Exactly right. And a little bit of gray.
Because it's a terrific shirt. I mean, it is
fantastic.
So
Brig did a great job with it, and I'm very happy with it. Mine is on the way.
All right. Very excited about that. Okay, a couple of things we've got to get into as far as current events that just demand being discussed. First of all, robot umpires have arrived in the Pacific Coast League, and it's very controversial, and it's very interesting, and it's an indicator that it's obviously approaching Major League Baseball at a more rapid pace than we anticipated, which is, I think, the alarming thing here. I know you're excited about robot umpires. I'm very excited. Generally, right? So we all know how you feel. But
yes, in fact, Brig, you know what? My enthusiasm for the robot umpires has gotten Wilson, my 7-year-old, anytime there's a bad call, he says, "Bring in the robots." Like, yes, that's right. Bring in the robots. That is the mantra around our house, because umpiring has been absolutely horrendous this season behind the plate.
High quality indoctrination, and I must simply applaud you for I disagree.
Well, you're not the only one, Brig, because I had a conversation with somebody the other day.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, just a lengthy conversation on Facebook with somebody talking about how he was like, "This is it's going to ruin the game because you lose the human element." And I continue to say the human element is what ruins the game, because nothing wants to makes me want to turn off any sporting event faster than poor officiating, because then it feels fixed.
Yep.
So, anywho,
I both oppose the current robot umpire situation and agree with you at the same time. Yeah, go figure, because I can do that. And here's why. I don't think this technology has evolved to the point where it needs to yet, because the rule book states that the strike zone is redefined every pitch, right? So depending on how the batter stands, whether he's more upright or more hunched over, all of that changes, and the umpire behind the plate is the one who gets to make that call. So what I need is for the technology to advance to the point it can do the same thing and maintain a consistent strike zone for each batter, and not a consistent strike zone blanketly across the league. Because right now, the way it works is that there's still a lot of questions on whether it's a 3-dimensional strike zone or not, whether it's more of an oval shape, how far it actually comes up above the belt, because I read some reports that it only kind of extends above the belt for some guys, and that's just simply not high enough. So, and just need technology to advance a little bit. I agree with you. I don't want the officials stealing the show either. So,
and this is one thing I've actually thought about recently is that they could use it as a guide, right? Like they could get it could be like close ball or close strike, right? Where it's or like strike high or something. I don't know exactly how it would be, but the umpire could still use his judgment, I feel on, like you said, like the top of the zone. And I don't know. I think there's a lot of kinks to work out still, and that's why it's in the minor leagues still, right? Like you talked about, guys stand up, crouch down a little bit. But one thing John Smoltz said is he said that if they're going to bring it in, they have to lower the strike zone, because if you hit the top of the zone with the bottom of the ball and it's a strike, the pitchers are going to live there all day because you can't hit that above 95 miles an hour.
Yeah,
because that plays at 98, 99. So it's impossible. But
okay, let's move on to another heavy topic. Matt Harvey has been suspended. His suspension is going to be for 60 games. The charge is distributing and using illicit drugs. The rule book is very clear, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is the law, by the way.
That's the big thing here is the law, I feel like.
The law is very clear, especially in the state of California where it's felonious to distribute drugs illicitly. So that's a big problem. He gets game suspension here. The big question everyone has is, why is Trevor Bauer suspended for 2 years based on his situation that was not prosecuted further in court? And Matt Harvey, who committed a felony, is given 6 suspension.
Yeah, so this is so Bauer brought himself into this. We're not bringing him in on this. He tweeted this out. He said, so ESPN said Orioles pitcher Matt Harvey has been suspended 60 games for distributing a drug of abuse under MLB's drug program, the league announced Tuesday. And then he quote tweeted that and said, Matt Harvey admitted under oath in federal court to distributing drugs, a felony in California, among other illegal activities, like taking drugs himself in a case where a teammate died. Quote, 60 games. Now, that's the problem that I have here, is that Trevor Bauer was not found guilty of anything other than making himself look bad, right?
Yeah, which is the court of public opinion. Honestly.
Yeah, in my opinion, he didn't do anything to hurt the league, right? Nobody's opinion of the Dodgers changed because he hasn't played for the Dodgers since this happened. They put him on administrative leave, saying, "Okay, we'll let this take care of itself, and then you'll continue to get paid because we can't suspend you because then there's defamation involved."
Right.
But we're going to put you on administrative leave. He has not pitched for the Dodgers since this came out, so his image has not hurt the league even a little bit, and yet here they are suspending him for 2 years for what?
Right. Whereas in the
I feel like he's got a valid
Matt
argument.
Harvey case,
I still feel like he's going to win his, And
I
can
think,
suspend Matt Harvey for 60 games because he's not playing baseball.
Yeah, that's true. But a player died. I mean, the situation is so different, right? We're talking about a man and his family who are like dramatically impacted by Matt Harvey's.
Yeah.
Now, we can't take Tyler's choices out of the equation, obviously, right?
Right. Yeah.
But that being said, nobody died in Trevor Bauer's situation.
Right.
I think there's a difference in weight. That's all
I agree. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And if Matt Harvey goes to prison for what he did, then 60 games isn't going to come into play because his career is basically over.
It won't matter. Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I'm sure he's like, well, I don't care. I'm not pitching anyway. Like, suspend me 1,000 games, whatever. It's all the same to me. But Trevor Bauer is in his prime, and they're trying to take away 2 years for something he was not convicted of.
Right. Well,
I don't know. I still think he's going to win his appeal.
I still Rob Manfred is behind all of this, and it's a huge problem. why would they jump quickly to, and it feels quick. I don't know if it is quick. I haven't looked at all the chronology, but why would they jump so hard over Matt Harvey so quickly and wait so long for the Trevor Bauer situation? Like, it just feels like if you're going to set a precedent.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Oh, Trevor Bauer's thing just took a long. It was hung up in court for so long. I think that was the big thing with that one.
But I still think MLB
they had to let that play
feet
out first. They did, because once everything was sorted out in court, they still drug their feet on it too. Yeah, you're right.
But they're not doing that with Matt Harvey, at least as far as I can tell.
Yeah,
it seems like the situation came out in court, all the testimony and the admission and everything, and then Major League Baseball was like, "We were just waiting. Here you go."
Yeah, and it's so weird that it's like the tweet specifically says that it's the drug of abuse policy. Yeah, it's drug program. It's like, okay, well, yeah, that covers the usage part, but where does distributing fall under all this? That's what I want to know, because that's a bigger deal. That's a more heinous crime, right?
Yeah, it affects more people for sure.
Yeah, it definitely does. And so, I don't know. 60 games is nothing though for Matt Harvey. Like I said, his career is basically over.
Not.
But you've got to set a precedent. And that's dangerous.
Saying.
Only 60 games. So
let's move on. Update on Jake Odorizzi. He's it's come out that he was afraid it was his Achilles.
So real quick, before you get too far into it, Brig, before you get in, for those of you who didn't listen to Monday's episode, we talked about this briefly because it basically happened while we were recording, that he was coming off the mound and he just collapsed and fell down. And we were trying to figure out what it was, but nobody knew at the time. And like Brig just said, he thought that he said that he was afraid it was his Achilles was the injury.
Yeah. There you go.
So
appreciate that. That was good backstop. There you go. That would have been a pass ball, but Brad, he dug that right out of the dirt. Did you see that?
Catcher by nature. Catcher by nature.
Good.
Brig.
So good, Brad. Just love it. So according to the Houston Chronicle, only some strains and sprains of other ligaments around the ankle and foot are possible. So, like, if it's not the Achilles, what could it possibly be?
Well, he had an MRI, and that's what they said it was. They confirmed that it was not the Achilles.
Other stuff?
It was, pretty much everything else, which I've had that before. I was playing basketball in college. I took a charge that didn't get called because it was peer referees, and the kid fell down on my foot, and like my foot was like this, and then he like rolled across it, and so my foot like crunched, and it was weird. And I went to the doctor the next day, and he's like, "You tore literally every ligament in your foot." He's like, "See all those gaps in the X-ray? Those are not supposed to be there." So
amazing. Good old church ball.
In there. Yeah, no kidding. Pretty much what it was. You're right. Yeah.
All right, let's get into games that you can watch this weekend coming up. This is really exciting. Apple TV is at it again with their shenanigans, which some people love. Rate is, I think, the translation there. And some people absolutely hate the Apple TV games. That's really it. It's like some people are waiting for it to get better, and other people already cut ties and have left the harbor. All right, but on Apple TV, it's funny. Apple TV will be Friday night. Cardinals at Pirates. That's 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Then the Rangers will be at the Astros, 8 p.m. Eastern, also on Apple TV on Friday night. Brad, you got anything else you want to add about those? Are those matchups for you, or are they meh?
That Rangers Astros to me is going to be a good matchup. The Rangers are not a good team, but they're playing teams tough because they have big bats. So if you want to watch offense, watch the Rangers and Astros, because there are going to be runs scored anytime those teams play, because they're both powerhouse offenses. And the offense that the Rangers have is legitimately good enough that most pitchers can't shut them down. The problem is their pitchers can't shut anybody down.
Right.
So they're playing a lot of high-scoring games. So
yeah. Well, and I would say you're probably going to get something similar out of the St. Louis-Pittsburgh game, because Pittsburgh can't stop St. Louis.
But they also are. I mean, they got no hit last week and put up one run. Right.
That's true. They're scrappy.
The Reds.
They're scrappy.
Yeah, they're scrappy.
Yeah.
But they feel a lot like a 4A team.
They
Like,
are. That's right.
They don't have the look of, a lot of those guys don't have the look of a big league team. And
Can we just talk about Vogelbach sliding in kind of to home plate the other day
So he tagged up on a fly ball to Seiya Suzuki in right field at
in right
Wrigley.
field?
And I don't know why he ran. That wasn't even that deep of a fly ball. I guess he was
No.
like, I don't know how well this guy throws, and he runs on him. But then it's like Suzuki throws a strike
Yeah.
from right field.
What it was like halfway. It wasn't even deep right field.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think
Yeah.
he came in to get that ball.
Yeah, it was shallow,
Vogelbach
for
had
sure.
no business running, but he still slid. Give him credit. He
Kind
still
of.
slid. He tried.
He slid like 4 feet away from the plate. It was magnificent. You got to go look at the highlight reel if you can. We're not going to call it a highlight reel. Okay, if you have Peacock, if you have Peacock and you're able to access games on Peacock, you can watch Sunday morning Cardinals and Pirates. That'll be at 11:30 Eastern as well. Let's move to Sunday night.
Hold on, real quick, Brig, because I gotta say something about this Peacock broadcast.
Say it.
I love how early that is, especially on the West Coast, because that's 8:30 my time. That is wake up to baseball, and I couldn't be happier about it.
I'm not going to lie to you, Brad. That's basically wake up to baseball for me too. On a Sunday?
Must be nice.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest with you, on a Sunday, by the time 8:30 rolls around, a lot of times I've been up for 2 hours or so at that point.
Yeah.
So,
I have to. I have to, but that's not true. No, that's not true. I'm up by 7 though. My kid wakes me, hey, Dad. I'm like, what she should do. I'm going to train her. She's like, baseball's on.
There you go.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that is what she should do. That's the best
All
way
right,
to
so
get Dad out of bed.
Moving on to, or splash water. Don't tell anybody. Oh, moving on to Sunday night, ESPN. You can watch the Yankees at the White Sox. That'll be 7 p.m. Eastern. Very excited to hopefully steal another series from those folks over the Royal Dead. Series swap this weekend as well. We got the Dodgers at the Phillies. I think that's going to be an interesting matchup, Dodgers at Phillies.
I do too, because the Phillies swept the Dodgers last weekend.
Right. And I
was
wonder
like
how
the surprise of the month,
show
right?
up. Yeah. What Dodger team's going to show up that time, this series? It's going to be really exciting.
Yeah. Well, actually, no. Sorry, they didn't sweep them. They didn't sweep that series. The Dodgers won on Sunday, but it took a walk-off. Is what happened there.
But did they split the four, or was
No, the Phillies did win the first 3.
That's what I thought. Am I missing something here? Yeah.
Yeah. No, it took a while. Basically, the Phillies had a dead to rights the entire way. But then the Dodgers ended up walking off on Sunday afternoon is what happened there. But no, this is going to be a great series unless the Dodgers come back and they're like, nope, we're not having it. And then they take the whole thing from them. Kind of like what they did to the Diamondbacks earlier this week.
Yes. Yep. Bryce Harper swapping hats with fans, by the way. So if you have a cool hat, you might want to sit by the dugout. Bryce Harper might trade you a hat. Anyway, that's deep cut there.
He's doing something
the Padres,
to pass the time.
The Padres at the Giants. I don't know if I'm excited about this or not, actually. I think this kind of is just like, I'm glad there's a game.
So the Padres and the Giants. So I guess it's a bigger deal for me since I'm out on the West Coast. Yeah. The NL West is a lot tighter than we anticipated it being. So right now, this is going into Thursday. The Dodgers are up 2 games on the Padres at 25-12. The Padres are 23-14, and then the Giants are 1 game back at 22-15. So I feel like this is a series that could set the tone for the rest of the season as far as how these teams are going to play back and forth with each other. Big deal, Brick. Big deal in the NL West.
Well, I'm glad that you brought it to my attention because basically anything outside the AL East is boring.
Spoken like a true Yankee fan.
Yeah, that's right. I just had to get it in there. I don't actually feel that way. But I do like to play the bad guy every once in a while. Blackjack Brad can't have it all the time. Okay. All right. So the Braves are also going to play Miami. They're going to play the Marlins. The race for second place is going to be tight in the NL East because the Mets are running away with first place. Even with Scherzer gone, I think they're going to still carry the banner. I do. And
so for those of you who don't know,
yeah,
real quick, Brig, for those of you who don't know, it came out today that Max Scherzer is going to be out for 6 to 8 weeks with an oblique injury. So that's not good for them, at least for Scherzer. I don't think it's going to be good for the Mets because I feel like he's good. I've said it before. I feel like he is the dog in that clubhouse, and he's the reason that they weren't going to met the bed this year. And it's going to be interesting to see if they can keep things even keel while he's gone.
This is why they will. Are you ready? I'm going to lay it down.
Okay.
They are going to keep it together because he's still going to be in the clubhouse. Just because he can't be on the field in the rotation does not mean his influence will leave the clubhouse. Dude.
But is he going to travel? He will not go on the road with the team.
Yeah,
that could be a problem.
Fine, I'll pick the mic back up. You make a good point. I don't know. I still think that, so maybe it'll be half as bad. I don't know, as everybody thinks it will be, but I'm not as worried as everybody is.
I don't think they'll tank. I don't think they'll come crashing back to earth.
No.
But I don't think they're going to continue to run away with it because the Braves are better than they've been playing. The Marlins are pretty good. The Phillies are trending upward. Let's put it that way.
They're trending up. Yep.
So my guy Jazz Chisholm has been balling out recently.
Jazz Chisholm is awesome. That dude is awesome,
man.
Yeah. I love watching him play baseball.
Speaking of energy in the clubhouse, I think his energy has been infectious, and that team they're gonna hang around. I think they're gonna hang around.
Yeah, they are. They really are. Baseball family, which games are you excited to watch this weekend? We're excited to watch baseball every day because we can. It's the best part of the year. But is there a game you're particularly excited about? If so, why? You can go ahead and let us know in the comments if you're watching right now. If on the live, we're live on Facebook, YouTube, and the Twitter machine. Very exciting. But you can also jump into baseballtogether.com and you can leave us a voicemail. For those of you who have not been made aware yet, you can leave us a voicemail. You can also just leave us a comment in the mailbag and we will get to it. We should plan another mailbag episode here soon.
Right.
We should dig up the mailbag and see what's going on in there.
For sure.
We did a little bit of it last week with the YouTube comments, but anyway.
Yeah. But if you also want to support the podcast, you can jump on Patreon, search Baseball Together. You can support us that way. Become one of our rooters. We have 3 different tiers, $5, $10, and $15, and you get hats, t-shirts. And we're kind of toying with some other ideas we might throw in there at some point. But for now, that's what we have. And we did mention this on this week's episode that one big thing that we are planning on with that support is we want to make a documentary. So we have some ideas, none of which have been thrown around. But anyway,
right.
Playing those cards close to the chest. But you can jump on Patreon to support the podcast that way.
You can also jump on 9plusus.com. That's NINEPLUSUS.com, 9plusus.com, where you can shop all the merch that we wear on the shop, except this I got in Kansas City. It's an old school Negro Leagues Monarchs hat, which is freaking sweet. By the way, I'm very excited about it. We've been cleaning up the shop a little bit. There's not quite as much in there now as there was, so it's a little easier to navigate. I think you'll have a better time with it. That trend will continue as well. So
yes, it will.
Jump in there. Some of the prices have dropped actually as of today. Brad showed you that freaking that we dropped today with the new low price structure. Very exciting. Very exciting.
Excellent. I love it so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. Let us know what you think. Let us know how we're doing. And baseball family, with that, have a great weekend, and we will catch you next week.